Alright everybody, welcome back to Twist Out Talia. I finally got my new CPU, so I'm still doing a little bit of tweaking here and there for a good balance of smoothness versus quality of visuals. So let's see, now when I first come out of here, this is going to be a very densely populated area because it's a big deal that my character woke up, blah blah blah, closed the breach, whatever. And so that's probably going to be the big tester there. So I do expect a little bit of minor issues, but let's see. See what happens. Well, it's a lot better than I
That's her.
expected, actually.
That's the Herald of Andraste.
There is no voice skipping. Yep, we'll read that. There was no running,
That's her.
skipping.
She stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
So hopefully we are good to go.
Chancellor Roderick says that the Chantry wants nothing to do with us.
You know, that is the most annoying part about this damn game. I guess not being of a Christian
Have you gone completely
person,
mad? She
it
should
drives
be
me
taken
crazy
to Val.
because it sounds so Christian. It's just
Chain
chanting
her!
over and over.
I want her prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
Douche.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
Alright, we're going to do with number 1.
I did everything I could to close the breach. It almost killed me.
Yet you live. A convenient result insofar as you're concerned.
Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Tell him, sweetheart.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect,
You, and many others.
but not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to her for help.
So her survival, that thing on her hand, all a coincidence.
Douche.
Providence. The Maker sent her to us in our darkest hour.
Let's see. We're going to go with, are you sure?
You really think your maker would send someone like me?
The Maker does as he wills. It is not for me to say.
Even if that means a Dalish elf is his chosen?
Humans are not the only people with an interest in the fate of the world.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
Punch him. Punch him in his ass face.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
You don't need a damn church to support you. Okay, let's ask some questions.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
I'm gonna bug her.
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new Divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
All right, I'll give in.
If you're truly trying to restore order,
That is the plan.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
I have to remember that I wanted to keep all the cutscenes. I'm so desperate, or not desperate, but so accustomed to just skipping. I mean, some of them I will, because they're, you know, not essential to the game, but... Sorry, I have a slight cold, so... Oh, and up next, if everything goes well, I will go ahead and add my webcam to the mix in OBS. Now, every time in the game when I see one of those birds, I think Liliana's sending them out to spy on my character. I'm like, mind your own damn business, Liliana, you bitch. That looks like a vagina at the bottom. Actually, I've never seen this part because I've always just hit skip when she put the book down. Hmm. Welcome to Dragon Age Inquisition. Alright, now I can put my new armor on, because when you put your new armor on the first time and go into the chantry, it reverts to the one they've already given you. So, what is this for? That is light armor. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Let's see if Solus can use... Nope, his is higher. Nope, that's higher. Equip that bitch. Get rid of that one. Alrighty. Let's see. Weapons. My new staff. Alright. So, what you got? Oh, same damn staff, so. Who gives a fuck? And I'm not recruiting Sarah yet, so. Don't need that. Alrighty. Away we go.
Does it trouble you?
I'm gonna be all emotional.
if it wasn't enough to close the breach, what use is it?
You did everything we asked of you.
And it still didn't work.
What's important is that your mark is now stable, as is the breach. You've given us time, and Solas believes a second attempt might succeed, provided the mark has more power. The same level of power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
Let's be comical.
What harm could there be in powering up something we barely understand?
Hold on to that sense of humor.
I like giving my characters a sense of humor.
You've met Commander Cullen, leader of the Inquisition's forces.
It was only for a moment on the field. I'm pleased you survived.
This is Lady Josephine Montelier, our ambassador and chief diplomat.
Anderan Atishan.
You speak Elven?
You just heard the entirety of it, I'm afraid.
And of course, you know Sister Liliana.
My position here involves a degree of...
She is our spy master.
Yes, tactfully put, Cassandra.
Pleased to meet you all.
I mentioned that your mark needs more power to close the breach for good.
Which means we must approach the rebel mages for help.
And I still disagree. The Templars could serve just as well.
We
Bitch,
need
bitch, bitch.
power, Commander. Enough magic poured into that mark.
Might destroy us all. Templars could suppress the breach, weaken it, so...
Pure speculation.
I was a Templar. I know what they're capable of.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us yet. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
Whatever that.
They still think I'm guilty.
That is not the entirety of it any longer. Some are calling you, a Dalish elf, the Herald of Andraste. That frightens the Chantry. The remaining clerics have declared it blasphemy, and we, heretics, for harboring you.
Chancellor Roderick's doing, no doubt.
It limits our options. Approaching the mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Just how am I the Herald of Andraste?
People saw what you did at the temple, how you stopped the breach from growing. They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first found you. They believe that was Andraste.
Even if we tried to stop that view from spreading,
Which we have not.
the point is everyone is talking about you.
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
It's a little unsettling.
I'm sure the Chantry would agree.
People are desperate for a sign of hope. For some, you're that sign.
And to others, a symbol of everything that's gone wrong.
They aren't more concerned about the breach, the real threat.
They do know it's a threat. They just don't think we can stop it.
The Chantry is telling everyone you'll make it worse.
There is something you can do. A Chantry cleric by the name of Mother Giselle has asked to speak to you. She is not far and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
Why would someone from the Chantry help a declared heretic?
I understand she's a reasonable sort. Perhaps she does not agree with her sisters. You will find Mother Giselle tending to the wounded in the hinterlands near Redcliffe.
Look for other opportunities to expand the Inquisition's influence while you're there.
We need agents to extend our reach beyond this valley, and you're better suited than anyone to recruit them.
In the meantime, let's think of other options. I won't leave this all to the Herald.
Now, see, the reason why I hate the Chantry is, God bless whatever. It reminds me of the Catholic Church. The Pope is always a man, and in the Chantry, it's always a woman. And then, but in the Chantry,
We'll post soldiers a safe
no
distance
men.
from the temple.
It's
Our
mostly
best
just
guess
women
at
just
safe, anyway.
sitting there repeating the same thing over and over and over again as you walk past them. The chance of light. So it's like filled with a bunch of nuns. Hi, Scott Harding. And I hate her. Ugh, God, I fucking hate her. I don't know why. She's just so fucking stuck up. Her and Vivian are both so fucking stuck up. Nope, not going there now. Let's see what we can do. Cullen, you'll get us some
All right.
money, money, money. Alright, let's see. Contact my clan. Josephine, you're better off doing
At
that.
your service.
So Liliana, she'll just kill people. And Hardened Hightown.
Let's see what we have.
Liliana. Which still will be done because we're not going to be able to set off ground until we get all of Haven complete. Such as meeting everybody face to face.
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador, if you can't prove it was founded on Justinia's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked her life to slow the magic of the breach. Mistress Lavelan, this is the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven.
Blah,
How's
blah.
Aurelion lend Justinia these lands for pilgrimage? This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denerim, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. She was a woman of supreme merit. I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
Alright, we're gonna stick Cassandra after you then.
Interesting, considering the Inquisition was begun by the left and right hands of the Divine.
I've seen no written records from Sister Liliana or Seeker Penticus that Justinia approved the Inquisition.
If you won't take her at her word, I'm afraid Seeker Pentagast must challenge him to a duel.
What?
It is a matter of honor among the Navarrans. Shall I arrange the bout for tonight?
No. Perhaps my reaction to the Inquisition's presence was somewhat hasty.
Eat your humble pie.
We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
Come on, get it over with.
I'll think on it, Lady Montillier. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
Ah, we're not going anywhere. Yet.
Do the Durelions actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite their Ferelden relations, the Durelions are Orlesian. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I apologize for the intrusion. I didn't realize you were meeting with the Marquis.
You did little harm. In truth, the debate was most beneficial as practice for those to come.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
Questions,
May I
questions,
ask,
questions.
what brought you to work for the Inquisition?
Sister Leliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
God, I can't wait till these parts are over with.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
For some years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montillier.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas' politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths.
That's an
But
understatement.
please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
I can't remember if I picked anything up. Let's read that. Anyway, I can't remember if I picked anything up of worthy.
You're the Herald. Or, well,
I'm gonna skip
it's
through
odd,
this.
especially my name is Maeve.
I research demons and other creatures.
You said you were a mage.
No, just circle mages must prove I was never very good at math. But when the mages rebelled, luckily, Seeker Pentagast took me in, along with the Tranquil I was protecting.
You said that you were keeping some of...
Yes. The mages took some of them when my circle rebelled. Most circle mages look down on the Tranquil. They don't have any emotions. They can barely take care of themselves. It's a shame. I like them better than most people.
They're lucky to have you.
I'm glad they have someone who cares about them.
They deserve better. They're polite, they're rational, and they'll never get angry at you. But the Templar, if not for that, I don't know. Doesn't really matter now.
Blah.
I don't like you.
Blah.
I liked studying. I liked having the Templars around to keep us safe.
A pity the Templars now want to see us...
The problem is not that I was born into a... The Dalish... They gave me a pack and sent me into the woods to find my own life.
Yeah, the Dalish
I
can
was
only
7 years
handle
old.
3 mages and a clan at once. After that, they kick one out.
I'm so sorry.
The villagers saw me make Templar. I've seen what life is like without the Templars, and I want no part of it. I just want...
You said Cassandra...
Yes. I may be able to find some weakness or so. At the least, some materials are useful for making potions or gear for the Inquisition.
I like how smooth they make the dialogue no matter which option you choose. They smooth it right in.
Why did you decide to research dangerous creatures?
When some monster is coming at you. But once you know how it works, you can deal... So much of this world is only frightening because we don't understand.
I found something the demon...
Yes, that's very helpful.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Just leave it.
Alright, which means I never have to talk to her again. Just drop
We will
shit up
study
there.
that.
You built for them the golden
Shut up.
city, the center of all creation. And for a time you dwelled among them.
So we're heretics, just like that. Should we surrender or...
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing?
You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives.
Yep.
If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I speak for no one but myself.
You probably don't even worship. The Chantry teaches that he demands it all. Our lives, our death. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
I'm sorry. Her death...
Not just me. Oh. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best, I used to believe I was to. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Maybe...
No, this is my birth. It was a moment of... Come.
And let me intervene here on Liliana having somebody killed. She blames the Maker for
So
killing
it's
everybody,
true.
and,
Butler has stand on us.
but is willing to
I
do
hope
it
my
herself.
hunch was wrong.
You knew him well?
Not as well as I thought. Show me the reports. There were so many questions surrounding... He's killed Faria. One of my... You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can.
Wait! What are you doing?
He betrayed us. He murdered my...
And you'd kill him, just like that.
You find fault with my decision?
We can't solve our problems with murder.
And what would you suggest? Leave him be. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals.
Now is precisely the time for ideals.
You feel very strong. Very well. Apprehend Butler.
Alright,
Now if you...
I'm gonna skip through the majority of these conversations
Reports of
now.
fade rifts. The only... You have to seal them. Your legend will spread.
Why do you...
And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
Because if I don't,
That they did.
this is gonna be
What
hours
of
of
it?
just conversation.
A friend. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that. I met her a long time. When I met... No, wait. She hates it when I say that.
Don't ever dare
I
ask that
saved
question right
myself. She just...
We'll talk...
Did you need something?
Let's talk about...
Me?
there. Don't ask that either.
I trained for a while. I went into... She presented me with my own network of spies and said I was the only one she could trust.
You seem...
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable. I had the The world seemed much duller after that.
You seem to...
I met her a long time ago. I'd just returned to Val Rayo, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see.
I like this
The
one.
ball was... all right. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
We can...
You know what...
Alright.
Yes?
Anything else?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Oh, good. Hate
I'll leave you
talking
to your work.
Apothecary Adon wanted to know when you might be
If
able
you're
to
here to
provide the
clean, Hess
materials
can
he
get your
needs.
bucket and a broom. Anyone calls you knife here, come to me. Oh, you're... Thren. If you find what I
Sorry.
need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing...
What do you do?
I make sure the... Both are important. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How does someone end up as quartermaster?
I served for... After they all
I'm gonna
turned
piss
on
her
her,
off.
Queen Honora offered my... It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from...
With that attitude...
People just don't want... King Kalen, following the... I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I should...
What did you mean?
I'm making this We're stretched... Here, take a look. You find some iron and a...
If I have...
Just take it over there. One of my boys will...
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Back to the war table, because Liliana's done.
Only
The monster
word.
child upstairs
Sing
is
only
awoken
the
and is
chant.
stomping around.
Then the Golden City...
The apothecary would like to know why you need so much death root.
What have your ears heard, Leliana? Anything new we don't already know about?
No, nothing.
No. I'm gonna save that one for Cullen. And that's definitely Josie's job right there, so... Liliana can just stand on her heels for a bit. I guess I better give Varric his Amulet of Power.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands. From the
shut
lowest
up.
slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring harm without provocation.
You dislike the Templars, sister?
No,
I wish I could
I know
turn
their
them
purpose.
off. Or at least lower their volume. Alright, now we're gonna run around Haven and meet everybody.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
Too many people died up there.
I don't even want to think about how many lives were lost on that mountaintop.
A lot of good men and women didn't make it out of there. For days now, we've been... Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay?
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this? Thousands of people died. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
I'm still not sure.
If this is all just the Maker winding us up, you might want to consider running at the first. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky...
Alright. Time to
Need something?
interrogate. Red lyrium.
The red lyrium we...
My brother Bartrand and... We located... Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well,
So what...
The red... It's not just... I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen...
What makes...
Regular... Red lyrium. And then... It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone...
How did the red lyrium...
I don't know. Did someone find more of it in the deep roads? That's not a cheery thought.
I think that's enough.
Yeah. Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined.
How do you and Cassandra know each...
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The Seeker had questions about that. And
Are you from Ferelden? Olay?
And despite whatever you've heard, no. Kirkwall's not that bad.
I'm not...
I'm a businessman. Merchants buy and sell goods. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
If you...
To be honest with
Can't
you,
see him
she's
doing that.
just the truly great one. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families.
Books.
We're in better...
You're an
That
author.
comes in handy
What kind
later.
of books...
I've tried my hand. My crime serials are my most popular. The Tale of the Champion is the most... I started a romance serial once,
there's one.
Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says...
What sort of shops do you own?
Auction house. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense.
Where did you get that?
Bianca? Funny story. I bought a salvaged ship and found her locked in a dragonbone reinforced chest in the hold. I broke 3 dozen lockpicks and blunted 9 saws opening that trunk, but it was worth it.
Every time you play a game and ask him that question, he comes up... Oops, I dropped something. He comes up with a different story, because he's lying.
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
And...
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have...
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Josie's waiting for me. I want to loot this first. And go ahead and come into the tavern.
Fix the door just like you asked, Flitter.
Where the music
Be a trouble.
always...
Master Harry
Too
said I
loud.
should go back right away.
Come on, move. Just in real life. People are always in the fucking way.
Oh, Maker, you're here. You're the Herald of Andraste. And you were sent to shame us for mistreating the elves. I pay my elves good and proper, you should know. I mean, I'm Flisser. Can I get you a drink?
I'm not...
Oh, as I said, I'm Flisser. Nothing fancy. But it's safer for the soldiers than looking for trouble in some
You said Liliana asked...
Dumb luck, mainly. When I heard interesting gossip, she asked if I wanted to own my own tavern, and I said yes. I didn't realize she meant this.
What can you tell me about...
Adan is Haven's... Harriet is... And for anything... Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Farewell.
Bitch,
Goodbye.
you need to close your shit down a little bit. Needs to be a little less, loud.
Are we going to have new verses in the Chant of Light now, for the Herald of Andraste, telling what she did?
It's far too soon to consider anything like that.
Come back around here in a minute. Pardon me.
All things in
Try
this
not to
world
pop
are
in your ear
finite.
too much.
What one man gains.
Let's see. Ah, yes. That one.
Have you had any trouble with them?
Not at all.
Yeah, well,
I will inform you if that changes.
That's alright. Liliana can sit on her fucking ass for all I care right now. Alright, let's go talk
O
to
Maker, hear my cry.
Adan
Seat me
and
by
then
your side in
Solus.
death. Make me one within.
I'm only going to pick up the codexes that are obvious. I'm not going to go walking into each building, you know, to search for them. I know where they are, but the only time I'm going to pick them up is when they're right in front of me. Oop, didn't mean to click on that. I don't have any potions to upgrade yet. Or I don't have enough elf food, actually.
Look who's back from the dead. Again.
I don't recall me...
I'd be surprised if you did. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making knows where, though. So, you're welcome.
I didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, you can pay me back by... Name's Adan. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually...
Grab his
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tate. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them. I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who... You want something... Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time.
How are you...
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
How do I...
Just take a look there and tell me... Let me know if you need anything.
See, like, if it's obvious like that, I'll grab it. Doesn't he have... Yep, loot. You know, I kind of feel bad sometimes in this game, because, like, the world's gone to shit, people are cold and starving, and injured, and I'm just, like, looting all their crap.
The chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct. Joke as you will, posturing is necessary.
I love his voice.
I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
A good one?
The kind who makes the world a better place.
It isn't always that easy, but I wish you luck. I will stay then, at least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate mage surrounded by Chantry forces, and unlike you, I do not have a divine mark protecting me. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
Let's give him a little smile.
You came here to help, Solus. I won't let them use that against you.
How would you stop them?
However I had to.
Thank you. But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Alright. More information.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
This one and this one doesn't give you any approval ratings up or down. That one will give you an approval rating down. So just pick
We
one
would
of the
do
two
well
you
to
like.
try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Yes. Tell me about
I'd be
elves.
interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
And you're a dick in the beginning.
My people come from the elves who refused to surrender when humans broke their treaty and destroyed the Dales.
Your keeper was not wrong about that, at least. We must mark the occasion of the Dalish remembering something correctly. Perhaps we should plant a tree.
You insult my people.
They insult themselves. Remember, I have walked the memories of the Fade. I have seen the history the Dalish imitate.
Douche.
Irabellis, Haren. If the Dalish have done you a disservice, I would make that right. What course would you set for them that is better than what they know now?
You are right, of course. The fault is mine, for expecting what the Dalish could never truly accomplish. Irabalas, Dalen. If I can offer any understanding, you have but to ask.
Yeah, see, you can't ask us to not get shit right all the time if we can't have access to the Fade to find out the information that you have access to.
Is the magic they teach in the Circle different from the magic I learned with my people?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing chantry approval, although they still... much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
The legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition.
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Tevinter disapproves of it. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
I'm just gonna go with this.
To be honest, I don't see it as different from any other magic. It's a means to an end.
Indeed. The problem is that under the Chantry, blood magic is forbidden, so only criminals practice it. While in Tevinter, magisters compete with each other, instead of keeping their volatile friends in check. They always succeed through power, so they have never had the chance to learn another way.
Alright.
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Hallam Sharal. But Hallam Sharal was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the empire, and Arlathan its greatest city. Place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Arlathan?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish Erebels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
Why? Because humans, dwarves, Canary showed up?
Are all Dalish elves like my clan?
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits. Others trade freely with humans, and some have disappeared entirely into the forests.
What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Did I miss anything? Is there anything else for me to talk about with him?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
Oh, God.
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter.
This is
Small
where we're
tears
skipping.
occur, but your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately. Circle mages call it a barrier between this world, but according to my studies in ancient elven lore, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like...
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful, and the Fade is a terrifying world touched only... I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more.
Your Dalish say the demons hate the natural world, but such simplistic spirits wish to join the living. And a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them?
Not in the world we know today. The veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Anything else?
Hello.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that...
I appreciate the work you're doing, sir.
I am sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you...
I grew up in a village, but as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of... I treasured my dreams. Being awake...
Did spirits...
No more than a brightly... I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. It was so...
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable...
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations.
Is this why you...
I joined the Inquisition. If our enemies destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while...
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Oh.
Indomitable focus?
Presumably. I have yet to see it dominated. I imagine that the sight would be... fascinating.
Dirty mind.
You said you'd...
This world, or its memory, some of my fondest memories were the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the...
I've heard the story.
That's just it. One moment. The next...
And you can't tell which is...
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always...
Not at all. I have spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not... Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
So basically, the pride demon that we killed was a wisdom spirit at one point in time.
You're saying that...
They were not demons.
Meaning?
And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
I'm impressed that...
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Yet, because they exist without form, is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
You have an interesting way of looking at the world, Solus.
I try. And that isn't quite an answer.
I look forward to helping you make new friends.
That should be... well...
That isn't quite an answer either.
Goodbye.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. What can I do for you?
Alright, we're done.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
The other thing that really annoyed me about this is I did have... There's so much that you can do in character creation as far as the way your character looks, but they only gave you 2 voice options. And that fucking sucked. I mean, like, really sucked. Alright, so... I only did... I'm trying to get through these.
Ugh.
I think you need practice dummies made of...
That would be nice. Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
Oh, yeah. The whole markings on the face means I'm a Dalish elf. I've never been to a circle where they can magically remove that.
What does your faith tell you?
And I believe no one else. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
You don't think I'm the Herald of Andraste?
I think you were sent.
What's going to happen now?
Now? And if there... I only pray the price is not too high. Didn't I? I see what must... But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I? I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
You've said you believe you're chosen. Does that mean you believe in the Maker?
I didn't say I believed I was chosen.
I'm Dalish. I believe in our own gods.
And there's no room among your gods. I suppose it doesn't matter now. I have to believe. Now it simply
If there's no room in your life for one more god, why should there be more in mine?
It occurs to me I don't act...
What do you want?
I'm not sure.
I thought you...
I suppose, but I don't want to ask her.
I'm just gonna
I want...
My clan...
Oh? I'm told some members of your clan might still be alive. Do you intend to go back? That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
I'd like to get to...
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious.
No motivation.
Antagonist.
Exactly.
My name is Cassandra I joined the Seekers of Truth as I remained as the Divine's right hand. That's all there is to know, my lady.
You're a member...
The Pentaghasts are...
Really?
And they have them. Oh, yes. The Pentaghasts value...
And you joined the Seekers to get away?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentaghasts are famed for... Most are fat, and... My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once...
You don't...
My fam... What little I saw, my uncle treated... Thus I did not see Navarra. The real Navarra until...
Your uncle?
They had the The king executed. Thus we were raised by my uncle. A Mortalitasi who...
Your uncle was a... Mortalitasi?
A death mate. The Mortalitasi supervised. Navarrans spent... It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings.
So you...
To divine just... The position is normally...
Unusual.
You don't know this. I will tell you if you wish. The short version is that I once saved the previous divine's life.
But...
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes. Liliana and I extended the divine's... After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted... But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope. Justinia knew the war. She tried to avert it. Sometimes you have to break your bones. It was to be the answer. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So...
Sweet aunt. It was... What? The tale gets bigger each time it's told.
I'm sure you're just
I was there. To hear others tell it, I alone saved divine Beatrix from a hole. Rather impressive for some...
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon it, and there was a dragon battle. They freed the dragons from magical control. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
What happened to them?
They went back to their circle. Many of them died at the conclave.
Typical.
That's rather typical.
Even worse. Few know of the night. That sort of willful blindness needs to change.
If you ask this
Tell
too
me
early...
about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
Because she doesn't know you.
I'll let you get back.
Alright.
Yes?
You have more to say. So let's just spit it
I have
out.
some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Oh, wait. That's not the one I
Do you need something?
Can you tell me more about the sea?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original. Seekers stood above the Templars. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality...
Why did your order turn...
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
But what...
Those who know... We do not... We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine.
So nobody...
It was the Divine's duty. The Templars have always feared us. That kind of power is trouble. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the...
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. They were clearly not willing. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged.
Why did your...
We originally united. It was felt the Seekers saw themselves as justified. And
you sound...
We knew what we looked into, but we found if we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the...
You're right.
When faced, we would find an answer. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was...
How does someone become a Seeker?
We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to under...
Is the vigil some kind...
It is the rite every a full year. We empty us, and the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful.
I wish I could...
If the vigil was... What if... I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose...
You mentioned...
Entirely. Ours come from... We cannot be possessed by... Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set delirium with... Some Seekers... Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
I've no more questions.
Or do I?
Greetings.
Yep, Chantry.
May I ask you about...
It is difficult to... They have no temper. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ached.
Will the chant...
They will... Once, sometime... The problem now is that no clear successor to just...
So what happens?
Theoretic, practic, any... We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
That's about douchebag.
He's a bureaucrat, responsible. Therefore, despite that, Roderick is not a... Some might agree. As far down the chain of command as he is.
How big a...
No more than... He sent his... Dealing with him further only lends him credibility.
Do you
I do. Cast the people... Andraste had a dream for us.
So...
A dedication. Instead of being... If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world...
That's...
Does it? The chance... They need... A chance for renewal is at our fingertips.
Will the...
They will... Once the... Sometimes... The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists.
He already asked this fucking
So what
question.
Theoretic. Practically, however. Any cleric. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must...
If they do choose a new divine...
That depends on whether she would have... And even if she would, I am no longer in a position to follow blindly. And no new divine could expect...
I'm surprised.
I left my own order, but in neither case did I... I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
I think that's all I have to say.
Do you need something?
To her.
That's enough for now.
Cat's hungry.
Another time, then.
She's over there tinkling with her, literally, making her bowl go tink, 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 tink. So I'm just gonna save right here. Save right over top of that. Actually, no. I'm gonna do a new save just in case this didn't turn out well. And feed the damn cat. Make sure that all of her other needs are taken care of. And then I shall return. For now, ciao.